Take 5. Taking inside the Vistas from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, is the focal point for markets within the coming week as buyers zero in at the Federal Reserve's annual confab. Business hobby indicators inside the Eurozone and an inflation gauge within the United States also are on tap, whilst charge cuts may be looming in China. Here is a study the week beforehand from Tommy Wilkes and Mark Jones in London, Kevin Buckland in Tokyo, Ira Yosebashvili and Louis Krauskopf in New York, Radhima Talwani in New Delhi, Sumanta Sen in Mumbai and Vineet Sachdev in Bengaluru. 1. Jackson Hole Jamboree. How massive will Destiny charge hikes be? How robust is the economy? What about quantitative tightening? Investors hope the Federal Reserve might also shed mild on the one's questions when crucial banking heavyweights meet on August 25-27 for their annual symposium in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. U.S. shares have screamed better this summer, despite Fed warnings that expectations of a height in inflation and a so-called dovish pivot from the relevant financial institution can be premature. Some buyers accept as true with Chairman Jerome Powell will push back in opposition to the marketplace's optimism again, reminding investors that there's one extra inflation record and any other jobs-wide variety earlier than the Fed's September assembly. Also in call for or in addition info on the Fed's reduction of its $9 trillion stability sheet, known as quantitative tightening, which a few traders have flagged as a ability danger to market liquidity. Graphic. Tightening up to more PMI pain? Concerns the euro area economy is hurtling towards recession are building. Flash Shopping Managers Index survey data ought to shed some light on how soon that would appear. The August numbers, due on Tuesday, may also display any other month of business enterprise pastime contraction after S&P Global (NYSE) SPGI's very last Composite Purchasing Managers Index (PMI), visible as an amazing gauge of economic fitness, fell to a 17-month low of 49.9 in July. Euro sector groups are suffering from soaring strength expenses and shortages, surging inflation and expectancies of better hobby costs. And monetary sentiment index for Euro quarter powerhouse Germany currently showed investor sentiment falling in August as fears develop that the rising fee of living will hit private intake. Tuesday may even include the release of flash PMI numbers for the United States and Britain. Graphic. Slowing corporation activity. 3. China's liquidity trap. More fee cuts loom in China, however analysts and buyers doubt they will provide any assist to an economy ravaged by means of a belongings crisis and strangling COVID-19 lockdowns. The People's Bank of China sets the so-called loan prime rate for 1-year and 5-year borrowing on Monday, the premise for organization loans and mortgages, respectively, after recently sudden markets by way of cutting key financial institution lending costs. The flow stoked slowdown fears that dispatched the yuan sliding to a 2-month low. The PBOC is prodding banks to lend extra, and pouring cash into the financial system. But call for to borrow truly is not there, with corporates fretting about the financial outlook and consumers wary with belongings expenses plunging. Graphic. Demand droop. 4. Price points with markets twitching on any inkling that surging inflation has peaked or remains at 4-decade highs. The U.S. Federal Reserve's desired degree of fees is due on August 26. The release of the non-public consumption expenses rate index for July comes after another key inflation measure, the Consumer Fee Index, become flat on a monthly basis in July, the biggest month-on-month deceleration of price increases in view that 1973, a end result that hardened stock traders. In the 12 months through June, the PCE Charge Index advanced 6.8%, the largest boom on the grounds that January 1982. With recession fears lingering and investors eager for any clues about the financial system's strength, data on new domestic income hits on Tuesday and sturdy goods on Wednesday. Has U.S. inflation peaked? 5 months of war. Wednesday marks the 6-month anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, or Unique Navy Operation as Moscow known as it. Not solely has it been a humanitarian tragedy and plunged the arena into a new Cold War, it has additionally been a key motive force of mounting recession worries, specifically in Europe, wherein a gasoline crisis looms huge. The area's gasoline fees have almost tripled on the grounds that June by myself. Rationing in powerhouse economies like Germany may well be wanted, however the ECB, Bank of England and others are adamant they actually need to crush the inflation it's miles fueling. Other exceptionally touchy markets have proved remarkably elastic.